So Darkness on the Edge of Town is a real new beginning for you. It's a whole chain. It's just a whole new beginning because you got a whole new perspective on yourself and your life.
It's a continuation, actually. It's, you know, and it's, I think that it's in the record, you know, stuff, you can hear it on the record, I hope, you know. And it was just something where I just learned a lot of stuff.
Would it be right for me? Would it be right for me to say, because what I'm getting from you is that the album Darkness is, even though it's your fourth album, that you feel emotionally attached to it, and you have a lot of yourself invested in it more than even the first three. That it's a real important step in your life. This record, I'm kind of picking that up from. And it brings me around to talking about certain things about the making of Darkness on the Edge of Town and about some of the stuff on it. First thing that I'm wondering about is, how did you and John Landau first get together? John co-produced the album with you.
I met John in Boston at a place called Charlie's Place. I think it was in Harvard Square. It's not there anymore. He came down. I remember I was standing outside. I think it was in the wintertime, and I was standing out there freezing cold. And he'd written a review of Wild and the Innocent. And they had it in the window, I guess to get people to come in, or something, you know, and watched it. I mean, I read it, and he walked up to me as I was reading and said, I wrote that, you know, this John Landau. I said, how you doing? And came in and saw the show. And
that's the review that had the famous line that...
No, that wasn't the famous line.
That's not the famous I saw the future line.
No, you know, which is a funny thing about that line, you know, it's like, which is
just for the, let me just say the line for the benefit of the people listening. The line we're talking, the famous line that they used in ads and stuff. John Landau's line, I saw the future of rock and roll, and its name is Bruce Springsteen. Now tell me about the line.
It was like, the funny thing that was about that line, I don't know I guess most people never read the article that it came from,
right.
You know? And if they had read the article, it was not saying exactly what it seemed to say, you know, when it was used in the ad. And I believe it was only run in one ad, but it was picked up so fast, because as soon as I saw it, I said, uh-oh, you know, this looks like trouble to me. It was good intentions intended, but it was like a kiss of death, you know, sort of. And the article actually, which is the article that he wrote at the time, and it still means a lot to me, was he saw a show and was writing about it, and I think what he was actually saying was that the music that we were playing, me and the band, was a compilation of a lot of things, not just, you know, past influences and present, but also, you know,
your own.
Yeah. I think that was the intention of the line, but it was like, I guess somebody at the ad department, you know, said, this is it, you know, and it went out, you know.
Advertising people always looking for little catch phrases.
Oh yeah, you know, that's I guess that's their job, you know.
Anyway, he came up to you and he said, I wrote that article.
Yeah, and I said, hey, how you doing? And he came in and sat down and we played, and then I didn't see him, and he was sick for a while, and he went in the hospital, and we made Born to Run, me and Mike Appel, and produced it, and I sent him a tape, you know, when he was in the hospital. And I called him. I think I called him on the phone. And he said, gee whiz, you know, first time I heard it, he says, it just sounded like a bunch of noise, you know. But after I listened to it for a while, I could hear what was going on there. And somehow, you know, we came back to New York and we got together, and I was having problems creatively in the studio. I just was having a hard time making records. It was a long time in between The Wild and Innocent and Born to Run. I don't know if you remember, it was like 2 years, I think. So I was having a hard time making records. bunch of amateurs, you know. Basically, you know, it's like even still, there's not that much experience between, between us. Is like, and we came up against some problems that we couldn't solve, and I talked to John, and he had some answers, and he was I just saw him as being another key to me being able to go on and do what I wanted to do, you know. Eventually, he came in and co-produced Born to Run. He was a big he opened a lot of doors for me because he was different than me, and he was somebody who had been exposed to different things than I had. When I grew up, you know, it's like we used to joke around, you know, say when my school was like put down as, what are you, some kind of smart guy? He said, and his school put down was, what are you, some kind of, you know, hick, you know, some kind of dumb, you know. And so he exposed me to things that I hadn't been exposed to before.
So you started hanging around a lot together, going to the movies, rapping, just hanging out and stuff.
Oh yeah, sure. He's like, you know, I spent a lot of time with him. Well, then we made the record. I spent a lot of time with him, I guess, for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months, you know. Anyway, again, you know, I spent quite a bit of time then, and then he came in and broke down a lot of the barriers to some of the problems we were having, and